See that little thing here? That barbell? That's a signature of a bottom fish and of all the fish in the cod family. Have this. And most of them have 3 dorsal fins. Okay, so when we go tomorrow and we have more fish, you will remember what codfish looks like, right? You're going to have to guess again. Okay. So there again, before we start working on it, make sure we dry it. Make sure our table is dry. So how do we start here?
Same way.
Yeah. Round fish, we start the same way. What's this fin called?
Pectoral fin?
Yeah, we lift up the pectoral fin, 45-degree angle, behind the gill plate. Well, actually, once you lift up the pectoral fin, that's the end of the gill plate. You want to cut underneath there, same as the salmon. In a 45-degree angle, we cut towards the head, right? And then we just go below the pectoral fin, cut that loose. Now, the cutting method gets a little bit different. Now I got to move away and have that swim away from me. I have to head at 10 o'clock. Now the cutting method is up and over. So what is the name of those fins here?
Dorsal fins.
Dorsal fin. So we're going to cut above the dorsal fin. So instead of cutting all the way through right now, we just cut in maybe ½ an inch. And we'll see if we wound up on top of the bones. So I go a little bit more. We want to make sure we're going to wind up on top of the bones, not underneath. Once you're on top of the bones, you go in and you follow that until you flex your knife until you hit the spine in the center. All fish have that spine, right? So once you have that spine, one more time that you're sure you hit the spine. Then you go over that spine in a 45-degree angle. You cut down. When you cut down, you hit more bones. Okay, so once you hit the bones, you flex the knife. You come out. Go in, flex. Now here is where the belly starts. So now we got to be careful because we want that belly flap, right? So we lift this up. And then once we are at the rib bones, we follow the rib bones. We flex our knife and follow the rib bones. But we are holding that belly flap. Okay. Clear so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Now we're going to do the same thing, except this time the fish is swimming towards us. You're a right-hander, you go from top to the bottom. So the tail is at 10 o'clock, and you follow. Make that incision on top of the dorsal fin. And I just forgot something. First thing we do what? That's right. It's so important to me that I showed you that you follow directions by placing the fish in the right direction, that I did not tell you this. So obviously, first thing, again, you free that, and you don't cut it straight because then you're going to lose all that flesh. Okay, once that is done, you cut on top of the dorsal fin, and here we're going to have to make sure free that. Now the belly flap, we lift that up. On the spine, go down again, and from here on back, that's very easy. But now we need to remove, cut through the rib bones or follow the rib bones. Without okay, so once we're past the rib bones, it's very easy. You go down, flex your knife, okay. Those bones, we save them for stock? Yes. So when we work with fish, we save the stock, those bones go in here. All right. Now, we need to remove bones here. Now at the salmon, where did we find the bones? The salmon.
The salmon?
Yeah, when we removed them.
It was right on the spine.
Right, come here, come here. Now with this, go on this side, you can do the other one again. The pin bones on the salmon were between the spine bone and the dorsal fin. Spine, dorsal fin. Here, they're right on the spine. So you're gonna have to pull those out. And they are a little bit, they're much harder. Because on the salmon, what's the bone structure of the salmon? Soft bone. What's the bone structure of the cod family? Hard bones. How many bones do we need to remove?
All of them.
All of them.
It was up like one.
To the pectoral fin, you cut like how close to the head. And then you just double check. If you think you're done, you want to make sure you remove them all. Okay. Once you remove the skin, once you remove all the bones, we need to skin it. And what do we do first?
Put it to the edge of the table.
Edge of the table, very important.
Yes.
There again, we start at the tail, hold our knife flat. You could use that knife. Now we're going to get our knife because we got in the habit using that harder blade. We can hold that nice and flat. And you wiggle the tail, hold the tail very tight. No flesh. Part of the fin there, we're going to remove that. All the bones. Now when we work with codfish, what do we need to watch out for? Parasites? Yeah. Who said worms? Almost all codfish are infested with what's called the codworm. Yes. Yes. You want to bring that over here and then plug it in. Yes. Yeah. Here again, before we skin, we line it up with the edge of the table. Take our flat knife. If you do not hold that knife flat, you cut either into the meat or into the skin. Either way, it's not what you want to do. Sometimes, if you should have some of the skin left on there, you make sure you remove it. Switch anywhere? Okay. Now when we talk about codworms, sometimes they're easy to see, sometimes not so. In order to make sure we get them all, we put them on that light and it's called candle. Come here, Heather. Come over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Here it's very hard to see. But you can see there are all kinds of worms here. They're over here. See that? Go on this side. Careful. Okay. So, just need to grab them and pull them out. See if you find any more. You just go ahead and pull them out. Sometimes you find them, you have about 5, 6 in there, sometimes none, and then you can turn it over and see what's happening there. There's one. So you need to remove those cardboards. Okay, here.
Look at the proper temperature, though. Don't kill the ones anyways. I mean, I know aesthetically it's
Go ahead, go ahead. You want this? We remove our cardboards. Even if you, I don't think that's the routine our customers pay for when you serve it. We want to serve fish, no cobwebs. Go through. Looks like there's one in the flesh.
You took it out.
Okay. Okay, turn it over. Hold it between your ears. Well, here it looks like we're pretty lucky with this one here. Okay. And then again, we put them together, belly to belly or bone to bone. All right. So we had 2 cutting methods. First one was what?
Straight.
And this one? Are there any questions about either one of those cutting methods? All right. And everybody understands the straight cutting method with the salmon?
Yes, chef.
I don't have to do another one. All right. In that case, let's clean up. Let's put this